of my favorite events, the Little League World Series. So we're definitely going to go ahead and talk about that as well.
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play
today. So we're definitely going to talk about the Little League World Series next week. And this week we are going to talk about the DSL Black. So the Dominican League, the baseball summer series. So we're definitely going to go ahead and talk about these young guys who are actually playing down there as well. Elvis Burrell is the man. He's been there a very long time. So their season is about over. I think. I think maybe got another week or so left as well. So these are guys like this we talked about last week. Guys who are in Dominican leagues baseball. So they're playing from different countries. They're playing. A lot of them are from the Dominican Republic, obviously because they're in the Dominican Republic. But you see some guys from Jamaica. You see some guys from Cuba. You see some guys from different countries playing. They are the future of the minor league system. This is the way it's going to go. So there's a lot of bidding. There's a lot of competing for a lot of these guys. And these guys come here to play at the Dominican Academy. We're going to take a little bit of a look at that as well. The academy there in the Dominican Republic for the Orioles that just opened earlier this year. Emmanuel Corral, 17 years old, Dominican Republic. I think probably he's having very interesting season, getting a lot of stolen bases. A lot of these guys are running very well, running a lot, not a lot of home runs. Looking at the stat sheet there, so definitely. Now, these two kind of give you an idea about how young these guys are. Second oldest player, Gusa Gilles, is about 20 years old. Right-handed pitcher Fermin Magdalena. I'm sorry if I messed the name up. He's the oldest player on the roster at 22 years old. So he's the senior guy. He's the grown man of the group. Team is 26-28 as of a couple days ago. So definitely that is the record. I think Jose Medina looks like he's the best player that they have. He's 18 years old, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs, stole 28 bases, hitting over 300 since getting down there as well. Elvin Garcia at third base, the Dominican Republic, 1 home run, 20 RBIs. Again, look at all the 10. I had to put the stolen base graphic up there, hitting 333. Alex Rincon, definitely 17 years old, hitting 8 RBIs, 10 steals, 287 average. Jerome Newell from Jamaica. Yes, sir. 3 home runs, 24 RBIs, 28. Not the average, not quite as good. Definitely a big contract that he's got, so definitely high expectation for him. Henry Tejada, 19 years old, pitching now 3-1, 2 saves. I think he had the best ERA of anybody. Not a starter or reliever as well. Not a real big guy, kind of small there. Got a ways to go. You got to bring it along. So we don't know how well these guys are. Good to see. He's definitely, I think, the best pitching prospect that they have down there. So this is the beginning. 17, 18, 16 years old. These guys are coming in and they live there full time here at the Dominican Academy there, the stadium. So we're definitely going to check out the stadium here. All right, so we're going to take a look real quick at the Dominican Republic Academy where these guys are playing. It is a gorgeous facility here that the O's have. So they don't have champagne every day, I'm sure, but this is the opening.
Thanks for being here in this very special occasion. To create this impressive modern facility shows the Orioles' commitment to improving and enhancing their international player development.
This international signing, but Mike Elias definitely wanted to do this.
I want to take this moment to announce that our six-pack area, where the pitching mounds are behind this tent, is named in memory of Luis Andres Ortiz Soriano. A left-handed pitcher in the Orioles minor league system who at 19 years old fought a tough battle against cancer. He showed what toughness is all about and that no one battles alone. Luis's family is in attendance here today and are honored guests of the Baltimore Orioles.
I was here 5 years ago when I joined the Orioles, and my first week on the job, somebody handed me the blueprint for Brian's land, and it's just unbelievable to me to see us actually be here right now and look at it. Like Greg said, this isn't just about excelling in baseball. This is going to change the lives of many young men here in this country. I think that this academy and the Orioles' presence in the Dominican Republic is a big statement that it is impossible to excel in the major leagues without an excellent program in this country. And we've done a lot in 5 years. We have the best record in the American League. We have the top minor league system in all of baseball. But this is the most important achievement our group has made in these 5 years.
All right. So there's Mike Elias celebrating there at the academy that just opened. You can see this is state-of-the-art facility that the Orioles have. So this looks better, honestly, than their spring training facility in Sarasota. It's very, very old. So I think they probably need to upgrade there as well. But that's obviously, but that was obviously, in my opinion, excellent upgrade for them. That facility. So that's a good looking facility that they spent a lot of time and money on down there to get that taken care of. Did want to mention that, and I mentioned that for a reason. Sarasota, their season is over. May next year go into it, but not a lot. But there's a DSL Orioles there as well. They actually play in Sarasota. So this is I don't want to even say that's a team almost because it's kind of not a team, but they basically develop young players, send guys down. Like I know DL Hall a couple years, spent a lot of time in Florida, things like that. They play a few games, but definitely that's also a rookie version of the league. Give guys a chance to develop playing in Sarasota. So this is kind of what the minor league looks like now. Not like it was. Minor leagues, and you're seeing a lot of big corporations and businesses and sports and things like that. They're going international, right? They're not just. They understand that I could go into the money aspect of it, but there's a lot of participation now in their product in different countries. So definitely the Orioles are doing that. FCL Orioles is doing that. They're using a facility they already spend money on. They're already using down there to go ahead and help players. Young players, especially developed players, and they're kind of more, in-house doing things, right? They're not relying on guys going to Rochester, New York, or whatever. They're kind of starting guys young and maintaining it and keeping it in-house all the way through their careers. So, mention that. Let's get to the big club. Some of y'all are unhappy with the way the Orioles have been going. I can get it. We'll talk about it. Orioles report. So we're going to go ahead and go over that here as well. Orioles report. Play the charge. This is more what we feel like the Orioles been going. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash to help, maybe, like the Orioles, the way it's been going with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Orioles report as well. Let me correct this graphic here while we're doing that. Management appreciates your cooperation, Oriole fans. Raven fans. So we lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. Split a 4-game series with the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are actually not half bad. I think they have some holes. Offensively, they're not what we are in terms of that, but I think they're similar actually in other areas. Devers, I think, is off the meter, so I think they have to fight hard to get these games. These games now down the stretch. Now we're getting towards September, and we'll see how they look. Lose 2 out of 3 to the Mets. Mets didn't look terrible either. I think they actually have some talent there. Again, they're having bullpen issues like us, unfortunately, but couldn't hold the game late. Pitching has been wild. It's been unbelievable what's going on. So who's hot? Dean Kramer has been good his last 2 starts, and they've needed it. Kramer, I think, after the injury, may be rounding into form. So I think he's been really good the last 2 starts. Gunnar Henderson has been, I think, getting back in there as well. Not quite as loud, but he's starting to hit the long ball more. Ramon Urias. Yes, sir. He has actually been, as hard as I've been on him, as a starter, I've always noticed he's been good. No problem. Good defense, good. Some guys aren't bench players. He's just not. He's just not. I'll stand on that. But he's been really good. Like, I think this is why they sent Kobe Mayo down. He's been actually decent. He's hit a couple home runs as well. Burns probably had the worst start I've ever seen him have in an Oriole uniform or the Brewers uniform. His last start, got into it with the ump in the dugout. Brandon, I had to tell him to sit down. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need our best starter getting thrown out or get kicked out there. Ryan O'Hearn, not as good lately as well, but the entire bullpen has been just terrible. Dominguez has been the only one. Injuries have factored, but there's no reason for all of you guys to be bad. Like, Perez has had some good outings, but man, just too many names. Kimbrel, oh my goodness, Cano, Tate has been going up and down in the minors. Guys have been going up and down in the minors. It's been losing games, period. Like last year, it was the total opposite. We have enough starting pitching because we had good confidence in the bullpen. This year, the bullpen, flat out terrible. No other way to slice that. Orioles on Thursday, option Kobe Mayo back down to Norfolk. Recall Levon Soto in his place. This kept moving too a lot. I mean, the injuries are really, really piling up. Mayo, I think they only kept him to get his first hit. He got his first hit. He went straight down. Mayo's not quite ready yet. No reason to panic. He'll be back. I think he'll certainly be in the conversation next year for starting at third base. His defense has got to improve too. I think that's the other thing too. Like even when Holiday before year was struggling offensively, he played decent defense. Kobe Mayo didn't either. I mean, they didn't want to leave him in late in games. So get some more work in. I think the rosters expand. You may see him here in a few weeks. Not a huge thing. Right thing to send him down. Cade Povich was called in on Saturday. Brian Baker was optioned to AAA Norfolk in a corresponding move. Povich, I thought, did a good job. I thought it was very interesting. See if he stays. Brian Baker, I don't know if he's good enough. He hasn't been great, but they've really shuffled him up and down a lot as well. Big one here. Zach Eflin on the 15-day DL, retroactive to August 17th, shoulder inflammation. Also, they placed Keegan Aiken temporarily on the paternity list. Congratulations. Keegan Aiken, rookie Cade Povich, and Dylan Tate were brought up in corresponding move. So that was the corresponding move. Povich and Dylan Tate were actually brought up as well. It doesn't change. It's been changing a lot. On track process in his rehab process. Danny Colombe is aiming to return late in September. Danny Colombe, they need it, man. Like they have been terrible. Talked about going up and down. Cole Irvin almost forgot he was in Norfolk. So he was back. He got the start earlier today with decent. Gave him a couple innings there, like 4 innings. Not bad for a spot start. Dylan Tate, corresponding move, sent back down to AAA. My goodness. Orioles claimed Emmanuel Rivera off waivers from the Marlins. Opened up towards the spot by designated infielder Terran Vavra. A lot of talk about Vavra all the time. A lot of people actually like Vavra. as far as that goes. But he was designated for assignment. I'm assuming he'll go to Norfolk here if he goes through waivers and gets the assignment. But we will see how that actually goes here. And also as well here next week, Orioles going against the Houston Astros. Astros, I think, are good. I think they have a Hall of Fame player in Altuve. I don't think they were a few years ago, but they're still really good. And I think this is, if the Orioles aren't the best team in the major leagues, I think it absolutely could be the Dodgers. I think more offensive talent. It is always a treat to see Shohei Ohtani anytime you can see him. Ohtani, I think, is must-see TV, and that whole team is obviously really good. I mean, they're obviously terrific. They got Kershaw back as well. Santander has been carrying them offensively. I think the thing that we do have is the home runs. So I think they have the home runs. I think that's probably been saving them from a worse fate. Quickly, bullpen's awful. You don't need me to tell you. Every time late in the game, you got a serious problem. Offensively, defensively,